Hey guys, what's up guys? Coach Lou here from Complete Guide to Kettlebells. If you haven't already, please view the portion on regular swings. Everything that we went over there with positions, drills, and fixing the camera errors highly applies to using a single arm swing, which I'm gonna teach you now. Two big things with the single arm swing is that since it singly loads one side of the body, people have a tendency, if we put a straight line, to want to rotate the side in, right? And you notice that my shoulders are pulled in and this is going towards that midline. We want to stay clear of that, right? That's where the spine and the back is getting wrenched on. Some people can have an issue with that. So one of the first drills we want to do is understanding the concept that it is singly loaded. So you have to make sure that we're staying square. And we do that by using the free arm, and I'll show you some drills on that later. But one of the first drills we want to do, just like our complete guide to regular swing, is we want to use the drag. So set up in front of that bell. Let's get this handle in front. Let's get this hand here. We want to act like we're hiking that football, right? Drag this guy back, step back. Again, it's all about that drag at first. What is that really teaching you? It's teaching you the bottom position, where the knees are staying stationary, where we have adequate hinge throughout the hips. My shoulders starting to pendulum. We're starting that initiation, which I always like to see with people. Work on that first, maybe 2 or 3 sets of 5 or 6. But what I want to see is that first initial part. Now we're going to move over. We have 4 parts to this, so stay tuned for more. All right, guys. Hopefully you've done that drill already. Part 2 of this is a common thing that happens is people feel like we're using one hand to swing now, right? What do I do with my other hand? Where's my other hand go? What I always use it for is to counterbalance. You remember the error in part 1 here was that this wants to turn in now. We want to use this as a countermeasure to come right up. So what I always do is tend to, wherever this hand goes, this one follows, right? So if you see me from the side, if I'm swinging through, this hand follows through. It kind of helps me stay clear. At the bottom, I'm not reaching back towards that bell, but imagining like if I could, at the top, I definitely want to touch that bell. That lets me know that I'm pretty square. I can't touch that bell if I'm reaching far forward. You get what I'm saying by that? Like, if you let that bell take and rotate you, you go to reach for that bell, you can't touch it. I know I can touch here. So what that looks like, again, we've already done that drag. We're dragging back. And again, use both sides, do both sides. Bring the other hand back, that hand follows, touch that bell at the top. That eliminates a lot of the want to rotate. If you're still rotating, you're almost trying to with that, right? So help yourself with that. Again, 2 or 3 sets of 10. A lot of kettlebell work and a lot of stuff is simply fixed by doing it, being conscious of the little error that you're making, and having little drills to fix it. But you need some reps. So use a light bell, bang out 10 plus reps, see how it feels. Part 3 coming up. All right, guys, so we've done the drag single arm drill. We've understood the importance or relation to the other arm or why it's there. 2 insider tips. It's almost like, I practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and part of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the invisible Jiu-Jitsu that nobody sees. There's like invisible kettlebell stuff that nobody sees, right? So one of the things where the hand and pinky is, right? So when we're swinging, I want us to bring our thumb down, right? In between our legs. It's gonna help us rotate back out. It's like turning something to turn back up, right? And where that hand position is, some people with bigger thighs, literally the handle is wide. It'll hit them. You wanna turn that handle in to minimize that thigh contact. Number 2, it kind of helps you come back out. It'll also help you set up for snatches and the such later on. Number 2, since it is a single loaded side item, you remember 2-handed swing is here, but that weight is directly under me. You can favor one side of the leg. You have to widen your legs a little bit, be here, right? Remember, I always want that forearm hitting that high thigh and coming back through. So the 2 things that I want to see, if we're putting this together, remember we're setting up nice, turning that pinky in, right? Obviously part of the other drill, touching that bell up top, and we can favor the one side I know for a fact I'm touching this because my forearm, which is my indicator personally, is high up in the crotch and I'm touching the one side, I'm not even touching the other side. So 2 invisible kettlebell drills, invisible kettlebell drills that'll help you. Those 2 things. Stay tuned for one more part, guys. All right, guys, so for the single arm swing, we've watched all 3 other parts. Now we have to put it all together. Say we're doing it well, we're hitting 10 reps on one side, 10 reps on the other. You can kind of be a little bit more advanced. 2 ways to be more advanced. You're gonna change from hand to hand, right? So 2 options here, if you guys can see, is you're either gonna change with the bell facing this way or neutral palm, switching, right? Which is kind of hard because you're gonna turn that thumb down or pinky up, turn here, catch, and have to rotate. It can be done, it's a timing thing. Or when you're here, you simply switch with the palm down. So we're here. If you notice, I did a couple reps of both there. I personally prefer to stay with my palm here. You can be this way. It's not a big deal. I'm not sure if there's a reason why you would choose one over the other, but I could kind of dig deeper a little bit into that. So again, guys, watch all the parts here. The same, if you haven't watched the complete guides to swings, everything there applies here. Just we're using one hand, which equates to a little bit more. 2 other little issues that always happen. One being that you have to turn the pinky up, right? Thigh, stay towards that thigh. Watch out for that shoulder rotation. But by all means, guys, you guys are doing well. It's all there.